Let's get it on! Yeah, little Ray Ray. I actually high-fived Ray once. Actually, I'll tell you that story. Um, I'm mixing it up with something else, but I'll tell that story in a bit. We're in the zone right now. I think using that shitty controller for a little bit this morning made me better with this controller. This controller is so much nicer. Oh my god. No, I shouldn't get cocky. Let's not get cocky, kid. Oh, we had the perfect round going, and I dodged. I looked at the clock to see where we were at, and I got thrown off there. We almost had the perfect round, too. What I was gonna say is, so with Rey Mysterio, I mixed up two stories. So one time I was at a house show. This was like 2008. So it was a show that wasn't on TV. It was at the Resch Center. And they had DX there. And I was excited because I got to see Shawn Michaels wrestle. That's the only time I ever got to see Shawn Michaels wrestle in person. And then he retired like 2 years later. So I'm so glad I got to see that. And then the main event was Randy Orton versus Chris Jericho in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So they broke out all these weapons and they wrestled around the entire arena. And at the end of the match, Jericho went around the ring and he was like signing autographs for people and stuff like that. And I had my ticket stub in my bag and I had a marker, but I had a bunch of stuff that I bought in my bag. And he was coming by me and I couldn't get my marker and my ticket stub out fast enough. Like I couldn't find them in the bag. And I was like, oh crap, he's just going to walk right by me and I'm going to get nothing. So I just stuck my hand out like this and he like looked at me. He like shook my hand and then he looked at me like kind of funny, like, okay, kid, you're not going to ask me to sign anything. You're just going to shake my hand. It was a little weird, but I was like, I don't know what else to do. So that happened. And then, about, I'd say like a year or so before that, I went to a SmackDown my senior year of high school. And they had a match at the end after SmackDown went off the air. And I think back when I was in high school, they used to tape SmackDown on Tuesday nights. They would tape it on Tuesday nights, then they would go through and edit it, and then they would air it on Thursdays. And so they would do the SmackDown taping, and then once the taping was done, they would do like, so it wasn't live. And then they would do like a match that wasn't a part of SmackDown after they were done filming SmackDown. And they had a cage match. And I'm trying to remember who was all in this cage match. I think Chris Benoit was in it. I think Kurt Angle was in it. And I think it was Rey Mysterio. I know Rey Mysterio was in it for a fact. And I think I don't remember if Rey was the champion at the time or what, but I think it was like a title match or something. Like the champion was involved in it. Anyways, after the cage match, Rey was going around the ring similar to Jericho, and he was like signing autographs for people and like and stuff like that. And I was right up in the corner in the front. He was getting ready to come up by me. And I saw this little kid behind me that was like about like my waist high. And I looked at this little kid, and you could tell this little kid really wanted to meet Rey. And Rey appeals to the children. He really does, like the mask and everything. You know, he's kind of like superhero, kind of like Spider-Man. You know, he actually had a Spider-Man outfit in the 90s. But you know, like the kids really like him. So I thought to myself, I'm like, I don't really need to be up here. I like Rey, but I'm not super crazy about him. And this little kid really wants to meet Ray. It would make his day. So I got out of the way. I was in the front, like against the railing. He would have saw me. Right, I got out of the way and let that kid up there, and I left. And then that kid got whatever he wanted signed by Ray. So that was the time I mixed up the Jericho handshake and the Rey Mysterio experience. So that's what happened. I was 17 at the time. I'm trying to think. Was I 18 yet? No, I would have been 18. No. Was it my junior year? And was it in the springtime? It might have been my junior year, actually, springtime. I think I would have been 17 at the time. I don't think it was the fall, because I turned 18 that fall in October. I bet you I was 17 at the time. I know I could drive there, because I'm pretty sure I went by myself. Anyways, let's get round 2 going. You go to a lot of wrestling shows, you start to forget what happens at each one. You start mixing them up. And then you go back and you watch them, and I'm like, this match happened? Whoops. Like, you're just like, I don't remember seeing this. Like, you just go back and look at them, you're like, I don't remember seeing this match. I don't remember this match happening at all. Probably the SmackDown I remember the most was the first one I ever went to. That was in 2002. Like, the first week the Resch Center was open. It was my first day of high school as a freshman. And I can tell you that story just a bit. I was only like 14 at the time. Almost 15. And there it is. The super punch takes him out. Not the perfect fight, but a really good fight. Nonetheless, I think if I wasn't yakking so much and paying more attention in round 2, I would have done it without getting hit, but I will take it.